Okay, got the record on, got everybody muted. Okay, guys, we want to go ahead and get started. And I just want to tell y'all, thank y'all so much. I'm sorry, like the scheduling this week was crazy, and thank you for taking time to chat with us. We have been really, I think one of our biggest things is social media. Like that's the struggle area, because everybody comes from that different, you know, it's not the same for everybody, I guess. And so then it's kind of trying to figuring out. So hearing from other people besides us is so nice. So we've all watched the video and loved it. I actually watched it like twice. So I guess we'll just jump in with some questions.
Yeah. Awesome.
I'll start just to kind of get the ball rolling. So one of my biggest things is like time wasting with scrolling, because I want to be active with, like, I want to comment on other people's things, and I want to like on it, I want to do that, but then that catches me in just this scrolling game. So do you like set a time to do that, or do you try to not do it, but then how do you connect with people?
So something I did more recently is, and it was kind of tough actually, because I've been coaching for like 2.5 years. So along that time, we become friends with so many other coaches that even if I was catching myself in a scroll, I felt like all it was coaches. It was just, my whole feed was just Beachbody coaches. So a couple things, but the first thing I did was I would go through, and I didn't want to unfriend these people because if they were, within our bigger team like TKO or Team Fitspiration, or even with, my uplines team, Nick Dynasty, like I still wanted to be friends with them. But I went through and I actually unfollowed almost every coach in my timeline. And it was kind of like, it kind of like hurt. Like I was like, I feel bad almost. But ever since then, I noticed that like I'm so like less like clogged with coaches in my feed, which was really nice, because when I do want to do something like, just checking like the feed to do some commenting on different things here and there, then I at least know it's going to be more productive with people that I want to connect with. But I do, on my computer, I kill my news feed using Chrome. Do you guys know what that is? Have you ever used that?
No.
Okay, so if you, so I use a MacBook, so I have, Safari, but then I also downloaded Chrome. That is what I use as my browser. And if you just go into Google on there and type in kill newsfeed on Chrome, it's just like a little app that you can download on your computer. And every time you get on Facebook, there's literally no newsfeed. Like it's just like, it just says like, don't get distracted or something like that. So you're actually forced to go to people's pages to see things. Like you get no news feed at all. So that's really helpful what I'm doing.
Do you have people like written down that you're following or tracking, and then you specifically go look for those people?
Yeah. Like day to day, I'd say as far as like commenting on people's pages or things like that, like I start off with just like happy birthday messages, because I feel like that's super easy. And then it just kind of depends on what I have going on. I think that if I had like a list from, perspective like challengers or coaches that I wanted to, interact with, then yeah, I would like kind of work from that list and go to their pages.
Okay.
So I have a question on that. So you want your coaches to feel like you're supporting them and commenting on all their stuff, because sometimes, when you're a newer coach, you post, you don't get any comments or likes. So do you go search out your coaches? Because we want our coaches posting every day. I know we can't necessarily comment on their stuff every day, but how are you doing that?
I definitely don't think I would, like, I can't say I comment on every single thing. Would you like?
No, but you can't. There is such a thing as making, isn't it called like lists on Facebook?
Yeah, you can like categorize them into, so on like the left hand side where you can see like your groups and your events and everything, you can actually make a list of people. That's something that I need to update. I haven't done it in a while, but for a while I was grouping all my coaches into a list so I could just see. It would say like, my coaches, and then if I would click on it, it would just be a news feed of just my coaches.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
That's cool. Yeah, it's like a game changer. It's awesome.
Yeah. So, okay, one thing that we were kind of trying to avoid doing is like not actually friending like every coach out there because of that same reason. And we were, my reasoning was because then when you go to boost on your like page, I usually choose the one that's boosting to your friends and their friends. Well, we don't want to really boost to our coaches' friends,
Right.
because that's their market. So we weren't friending, we were following, but then that's all showing up in our news feed. So y'all are doing the opposite. But then how do you feel about boosting?
So I do targeting. I don't I never choose their friends anyways. I just do like just interest targeting. So I don't think I have had that problem.
Okay.
I do still follow some like bigger coaches that I really enjoy on social media, that, not necessarily aren't like on our team, but like maybe, within the network.
Right.
Like I love seeing like Melanie Mitro's posts. So like I follow her. So her stuff always coming up in my feed, but, I think it's okay. I think if you get I think I got to a point where it was like literally if I were to go like this through my phone, it was like every single thing was a coach. And like I got to like a breaking point that was like, my feed is so clogged up. So I think if you feel like that, then maybe it's time to kind of organize and shift some things.
That's how I'm feeling.
Yeah.
Which I mean, I like it, but then I'm like, and then you forget who's a coach or you don't know who's under who. And then is this coach, you're not a coach. And so we also basically do the opposite. We do the friend, like we're still trying. I mean, a lot of our especially the newer coaches are trying to still get their warm market. So they're still boosting to their friends and their friends just to try to kind of reach that outer base. I mean, I even just started like in October when I was pushing for Elite, just started doing targeting. I mean, we struggle with those target areas. So are you guys boosting like a pretty large amount to that? $1? Do you have a budget for your boost?
So we hate likes page, first of all.
Yeah, we're not big fans.
Yeah, we're not like, I still have mine, because I feel like, I mean, like I have like a decent amount. I have like 7,000 like likes on there or something. So I feel like to like trash it at this point would be like ridiculous, but it's like pulling teeth for me, my likes page. It's something that in 2016 I want to focus more on because I know the potential in it. So I definitely need to focus more on, how to run better ads and stuff like that. Because in 2015, I like looked back on the money that I spent and I didn't feel like I got more return on what I had, I was spending.
I will say this much, like to put a dollar figure on it, and things change, I mean, the timeline and targeting and, it is what it is with Facebook. Like you pay, this is going to sound really funny, but I watch Shark Tank all the time. It's like totally my jam. It's like guilty pleasure. And one of the people were on there and they were talking about how they became successful with their brand because of Facebook, and Damon on there was like, yeah, well, how much did you pay to become famous on Facebook? And that's like so true. To put a dollar figure on it, I stopped doing the boost for like a call to action on like help wanted or coach wanted ads because my budget was like $30 to $50 and I was feeling some good return. But I know that people, like, you ever see the coaches with hundreds of comments on them? They're spending hundreds of dollars per boost. I mean, they're spending hefty cash to put those in the news feed.
If you guys ever see, so my upline, Nikki Whiting, she does like one coach wanted ad a month on her likes page. Like there's one right now running. It's like Mamapreneur or something. It's really cute.
Yeah, I saw that.
She spends like $250 on one ad. Yeah.
But she signs a ton of coaches. So it's like, if you can generate that and get it rolling, obviously it's going to pay for itself. But I don't know about you guys. I get really mad when I spend money on that page. And
I do it. Pushing for Elite really made, I was spending once a month my help wanted ad, I was doing about $75, but it was giving me return. But now I
think about it, like one coach signs up with a challenge pack, that's $50. So like, if you do think of it like, okay, it's like investing back into my business, it's definitely worth it. But I think like just like the day to day, like I'm more like, and it's such a terrible trait to have, and I definitely like admit it, like I'm more of like an instant gratification person, and like just day to day, like posting things on my like page and it gets like 1 like and like 2 likes, just like so frustrating. So then I'm like, all right, I'm not posting there, and I'll go like off and on. But I know that it takes consistency, just like everything in this business. So if you want your likes page to become, you know, more booming, then it's just going to be consistent posting, you know, every single day.
So to get to that 7,000 following that you have now, were you boosting, you know, like for our newer coaches, when you started out, were you boosting at the beginning, or what were you doing? Were you inviting every day, or how are you getting those numbers up?
I like when I was really new with it and just started, you know, I'd like invite my friends list. Obviously, it's like one of the first things to do. And then I was boosting just for likes, like for the page. So not just like specific ads or like per post or whatever. I was actually like boosting the page, but I don't feel like I really ever for like that. I don't think I spent like a ridiculous amount. It would be like $10 here or $10 here.
She was really, really consistent with it for a long time.
Yeah.
You were on it quite a bit.
Do you suggest to boost the page more than just the post?
I think if you want more likes in the beginning, yeah, I think it's smart, yeah, to do just the page, because then when it shows up in the feed, you know, you get to like put like just like that little one-liner thing. And I think I said like for health and fitness tips and yummy recipes, click like or something like that.
Okay. Okay, so my next question is, one thing y'all talk about, which we talk about a lot too, but it was one of my struggles as a newer coach, so I don't really have great advice, is, you know, that whole fake it till you make it. And it's, you know, when you're not making a lot, or when you feel like, I mean, I was making great money at the beginning, but didn't even give myself credit for that because I feel like I wasn't there yet. And so I waited months and months and months to post about money. I mean, and I recommended my coaches like to jump in with that, but I didn't do it myself. You know, how do you, you know, what kind of, how do you get your coaches to just start with that, like a grocery bill or a gas bill, or, I mean, or, you know, even not with just money, just faking it in the business in general?
I think that if we actually had this discussion not that long ago, her and I as a whole are like way not about like just money posts. Like you would never see us put like an income post up ever, but we're really big about like breadcrumbing.
Mm-hmm.
And what I mean by that, like I talk about freedom all the time. Like for those of you that don't know me, I literally picked up in December and I moved to DC with my fiance, and I was able to do that and not have to go out and get a crappy job. And, you know, I talk about that, the freedom, all the time. Katie just posted about getting to treat her diamond leaders in September to, you know, a mansion in Naples. Obviously, Katie would have to be doing really well to be able to gift that to her team. So doing those little things without having to be like the money in people's face is huge. You know, if you're on here as a newer coach and, you know, you're able to supplement your family's income, I think that's completely fine. You know, you don't have to put a dollar figure out there. Our income is completely different, and mine is completely different from Kate, everybody on this team. But, you know, your success is defined by what you see as success, not somebody else's.
And I think like it's like Stephanie Chico talks about that a lot. Like sometimes, you know, we like I might be like, you know, at a certain point in my business where I see like a lot of posts from, you know, like I think it was Paige Casto that just got the car, and, you know, Nikki Whiting got her husband a boat, and that, you know, we're all like, wow, that's amazing. But for like the general, you know, public and new coaches, like that's not relatable at all. You know, like people are like, what? Like, what is, like, how are you doing that? So the little things like grocery bills and, you know, little things like that, that's what's relatable to people. So I think the more you do those little things, the better.
Yeah, it's huge. And talking about it often, like coming into into people's news feeds and like saying one thing about coaching and then like not mentioning again for a month is not okay at all. I say that to my coaches all the time. If I went to your page, what I know that you're a coach, what I know that you are into health and fitness, what I know that you're on your journey, and what I know that you could help me. And, you have to be consistent all the time about what you're doing. Because the more people see it and they watch you, the more they will, come to understand it. And then you get those potentials that want to know what you're doing and how they can do the same and how they can pay their grocery bill or supplement their family's income or not have to get a babysitter once a week anymore. Just showing them consistently that you're making those changes for your family or for yourself, for that matter.
Okay. Yeah, I like that. Caitlin, anything?
So y'all are working this all on mostly Instagram and then your personal Facebook. That's y'all's things.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm so glad we're doing this call, because we're Facebook. We don't do Instagram at all.
Yeah.
So, we built our business up to where we are now just on Facebook. So it's so good for our girls that are frustrated with Facebook to see two, good top coaches that are doing just Instagram.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's huge because obviously, everybody taps their warm market. I mean, we're always adding to our network of people, but I feel like anymore, I mean, we already talked about it. It's like coaches in your newsfeed and things like that. Like, I feel like every day when I get on Instagram, I have hundreds of opportunities to meet people. Facebook, I just don't know what it is. Like, I feel like they're more real on Instagram, like just connecting and having those hashtags. I mean, Katie gets tons of coaches from Instagram. It's huge for her, and it's become big for me because I watched her stay consistent with it. Chelsea Best is huge. She's another really good coach to follow on Instagram. She does really well.
One of the questions I think that they had written down was, are y'all posting the same thing? Like, do you use the little feature that allows it to just click over to Facebook from your Instagram? Or are you posting different things?
So I'm posting, I cross post. I do that every day. I post the same things pretty much on my Instagram that I do on my Facebook, but I actually don't use that feature because I think I learned this from Jen Richardson, maybe something about like Facebook affinity. It's actually better just to post it directly to Facebook. So just copying and pasting, like if you make the post in Instagram, just copy and paste the wording and then post separately.
Okay, do you do it at the same time, or do you have like good times on Instagram and good times on Facebook, or do you just?
I do the same time. Yeah, I just do the same time because I feel like I have a completely different following on both.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that can change. Like for me, when I was still working full time at our dad's dealership, it was like I only had, because my family asked me, they're like, totally support you, but like, try to not post on your live, social media while you're at work, because I was running an internet department for our car dealership.
I was like, can you block that on Facebook?
Yeah, my dad. But so like it was like 9 a.m., like 7 to 9 a.m. is the only time I could post, and then like 6 and all this stuff. But like now that's completely changed for me. So, kind of self-evaluating, and, maybe this time of year, if you're a teacher, if the morning post worked for you, because a lot of your friends are working moms and things like that in the morning, great. But maybe in the summer, it would be different for you, just kind of paying attention to that and knowing that it can change. We say all the time, the top, prime time posting is, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m., but that might not be the same, for other people. I had one girl say to me, I'm a nurse through the night, and the majority of my friends are nurse friends and doctors, and I'm getting better traction at 6 a.m. posting because people are finishing up. So that's completely fine.
Yeah, that was one of my things. It's like if your goal is to post 5 times a day, but you're only supposed to be posting in like these 2 little windows, it's like, are you supposed to, I just stagger things throughout the day and save my call to action post for the evening when it's prime time, just so that I'm posting. But people that are working, that's kind of it's like they're going to be posting less, or they're going to be doing like 2 posts in the morning and then 3 posts when they get off work. Or else scheduling posts. Can you schedule posts on Instagram? I think Rachel maybe talked about that a little bit.
You can't, there's apps out there that can schedule them to remind you, like an alarm would go off like, hey, it's time to post this post that you saved, but it won't actually post it to your Instagram, I don't believe.
Okay.
Unless there's something new out there, I'll be mind blown.
Yeah, life changed.
Okay, there's a question commented below. It says, on Instagram, I feel like I'm using all the, good hashtags, but I'm only getting coaches or other marketing people like responding. It says, what should I be doing differently? So they're obviously not using the right hashtags, right?
Right. So general hashtags, if you think about it like this, if you went to Google, like you were posting about a clean recipe, and you went to Google and you like Google clean eating hashtags. You and 100,000 other coaches just did the exact same thing, because all of those top searches are going to come up. Mm-hmm. And the same people with It Works, Advocare, all of that. Everybody uses the same things. You have to find your niche market that has to do with you. Katie and I are both getting married this year, so obviously tons of things about wedding, and if you're a mom, if you use the term fit mom, you're going to get 1 million people that are coaches that are also fit moms, mm-hmm. and people that are selling for other companies. So you have to find things that are unique, but still things that are going to be searched as far as hashtags would go. So if you find that you're getting like the same people, like the other network marketing companies and It Works and all that kind of stuff, then you absolutely want to check. When you don't do that, you want to check and see what your hashtags are and try to kind of cycle some of those out and try new ones.
But I will say though, like, I don't rely on I don't know. I don't rely on my hashtags to bring people to me.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm going out there and searching hashtags to find the people to attract to me. Like, I don't just hashtag a picture and hope that like hundreds of people see it because they search that hashtag. I don't think that's going to happen. So I more, use the hashtags on the flip side for myself to be like, I'm going to go search the hashtag, Lululemon or something, and like go find some girls that are working out in the gym that aren't related to coaching, or they're not posting about a certain brand or something like that. So use hashtags to your benefit to search for people instead of using hashtags for people to come to you.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Right.
And not being afraid to use hashtags that I think people are afraid, like we don't have kids, but you can't be afraid to like hashtag something that has to do with moms who have kids, because my feelings are I can help that person. So just because I don't have kids doesn't mean that I can't help him or help them. And she has done things that are, military wives, and Josh isn't in the military, but she can help that person. So you can't be afraid by there's no boundaries, there's no rules as to who can use certain hashtags.
Yeah, we have that a lot. We have several coaches in here that aren't moms. And so like Katie said in y'all's video, she was like, I use that as an excuse before too, but that's not really an excuse, because there's people out there that aren't moms that want to be fit. So it's like, how do you feel, how do you approach them not being a mom? How do you find people that aren't moms that want to, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, just like Katie said, searching those hashtags,
finding those, we always say you have to have 3 to 5 things that are important to you. And I used to be like, I don't know, I have no idea, but you really need to it sounds so silly, but actually sit down with a pen and paper and write it out. What do you enjoy? What do you love? What stores do you love to shop in? What activities do you like to do on the weekend? What TV shows do you like to watch? Just just everything you can think of, put it pen to paper. And that way you can kind of work from that when you're going.
I mean, y'all have dogs and y'all post about y'all's dogs all the time, and people love dogs, so they comment on it and talk about their dogs. And
yeah, it really, that's a huge connector for me, for sure.
Yeah.
It's so important too. I do a little bit of tracking when it comes to Instagram. at the beginning of every month, I go out and find like 20 to 30 people that I am really interested in. Number one, as far as like, I think that they could benefit from my challenge group, or that they would be a great coach. And that's by going through and searching the hashtag. Like, guys, I get lost in Instagram. Like, I end up on somebody's page in Ethiopia, and I'm like, I don't even know how I got here. Like, I blacked out. I have no idea what just happened. But it's true. You have to like just like set some time aside, even if it's like one day a week, that you just go in with Instagram and you black out and you follow people. And you have that little tool up in the right side of their profile that says turn on post notifications. That is so important, you guys. If you want to do some type of tracking system with Instagram, you have to turn on the post notification, write those people down on a piece of paper, and that's who you're going to work this month. Those are the people that you're going to make sure, okay, I just got notified that they posted. I'm going to go, I'm going to like it, and I'm going to comment it, and I'm going to build some type of rapport with this person, so that if I want to reach out to them about joining my challenge group or coaching, they already know who I am, you know, and they've seen me liking the post and commenting, and they're doing the same back to me. And if it doesn't work out, that they just really don't seem interested, click unfollow post and you move on.
Okay, so if you shoot for 30 new people a month, how many people do you sign from that? Like, what are your numbers?
I don't. We're horrible trackers.
Yeah, no, we're really bad when it comes to things like that. I mean, I have definitely, Katie had huge success last year with signing people up from Instagram. I have been a lot slower on it, but since the beginning of the year, I've signed 3 coaches since doing that. So it is definitely paying off. Chelsea Best's entire downline comes from Instagram. I am talking signs people weekly on Instagram. And that is simply by going in, she follows them, she comments, she introduces herself to every person that likes her page, likes her post, a simple little message just thanking them for following her, you know, giving her love, and you know, she's a health and fitness coach and hopes that they follow along in her journey, and that's it. She makes tons and tons of connections there.
I have I can send you guys to, once we're done with this, a YouTube link to a call that Chelsea did for our team, actually, that you guys could watch and share if you want.
Yeah,
she talks about like the apps that she uses. There's an app called Crowdfire. It literally changed my life.
It's so good.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Thank you. That would be amazing. We all want to work Instagram more, but literally Deidre and I are the uplines and we're Facebook people. So it's like, we're sorry. We don't want to tell you.
No, it's okay. I mean, I'm not like a likes page person at all. I mean, everybody has their comfort zone, you know, but I think it's always good to kind of dabble in those other avenues, just because, you know, it's not a good feeling when it gets to like the middle of the month or like to qualification periods and you're like scraping, you know, for people. You want to have more people that you're working every single month.
Can you pay and boost on Instagram or no?
Not yet. There's they're coming out with something, because like big accounts are allowed to do it.
I read that. I was wondering. Okay.
Yeah, but not everybody yet.
Yeah, but as of right now, it's just you getting in there and doing the dirty work and
going in.
And I do think that like, so it's like one of my like huge goals to be better about it. But like as far as tracking goes, something that's so simple that you could do, that I've like started, and like, you know, we always like start with like super organization that kind of like fall off. Like I always do that, but putting them in, like using just like a Google Drive, whether it's just like the actual note or the, you know, like the Excel, like, and just putting their name in there. That way, you know, to like go back and find them again, because that's the thing with Instagram. You can easily lose people as quick as you found them if you're not keeping track of them. Another girl on our team, what she does is if she's like just randomly, you know, going through Instagram, or if she's in bed or whatever, and she doesn't really have time to like interact with them, she takes a screenshot of their Instagram and then adds it to an album on her phone that's like Instagram prospects, so that when she has the time, she goes back and she can look and see, okay, now I need to go back to this girl's page. So whichever way works. But if you want to keep like, you know, up with people, you definitely have to either write their name down or screenshot something.
Yeah. And I like, Erica, you said like you kind of transfer everybody over to Facebook, and I feel like did you say that in the video? Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's honestly, you just send them, you can get like the URL link to your Facebook. Like the minute you make the connection with somebody on Instagram, Instagram is so like, it's so amazing to find people, but when it comes to the direct messaging, it like lacks, in my opinion, just because.
Yes.
Yeah,
I think people don't check it enough.
Yeah, they don't check it. And, you know, if everybody's on Facebook, like in their messages, I just think you can see it a lot easier. So the minute that we make that connection, we say, hey, do you have Facebook? Here's my profile. Or we've linked our profile in like the in our bio spot, or you can give them the link, or just say search me on Facebook. And 9 times out of 10 people say, yeah, I do. And like, I don't know about you guys, but like Instagram's one thing, but once you're my Facebook friend, like we're friends, like we're tight. So you can make those connections so much better with them and have those conversations. So you like absolutely do not want to have like banter back and forth on Instagram. Immediately transfer them over to your Facebook.
Yeah, that's one of my things, because I'm not an email person, and that's what Rachel Ball was saying. Like, all she does is these emails with her Instagram. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I've tried to do this with 2 people, and we're done. So I'm like, when you said that, I was like, oh yes, like that's what would help me feel more comfortable, at least, because I could at least get
comfort zone.
My comfort zone. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's good.
Another thing I do too when I'm going to put like a big call to action on Instagram is like, so you know, you can only put like one clickable link in your bio. Like I'll change it up. Like sometimes it's my Facebook link, but if I'm going to put like a big call to action, I put one of those Google Forms, you know, I put the URL to that in my bio so that I can say to them, you know, like I'll put this big spiel about like my glance into coaching group or just coaching in general, or my challenge group or whatever. And I say like, you know, like fill out the form in my bio so that they can go click on it. And then in the form, the Google form that I do, I have them put their Facebook URL. So then I can just easily find them on Facebook myself versus being like, hey, can you friend request me? Because if you ask somebody to friend request you, then like, how are you even going to know who it is? You know?
Yeah.
That's in your control.
We were just talking about in our diamond group about those forms. We have 2 coaches that have kind of used them a few times, and that's something that I want to take on also, is to kind of do those.
Those forms are life.
Yeah,
like
I love them.
Oh my God, so good. Love them.
It's just something about like people, you know, like we put these call to actions up, and I think for the longest time I used to expect people to like be like commenting below or something, but people are like private, you know, some people are just like don't want to put it out there like, yes, I'm interested. So by having that anonymous form, you know, to the public, obviously you're seeing who it is, but if you're just saying like, hey, fill out this 5-6 question form, then it's super easy, it's quick, and then you have their information and you can message them.
I've never done that.
Yeah, we use it for everything now. Like we use it for our PS coaches, like for check-ins, like.
So what is it called?
Yeah, like all kinds of stuff.
Google Forms,
Mm-hmm.
and then you just type in what you want each question to be.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then they go to your email, the response.
Yeah. Now
you have to turn the notifications on. Can I screen share on here?
Yeah.
Now listen, this is like a really important step when making a Google form. Learn from our mistakes. You have to make one of the questions, what is your first and last name? Because you don't get notification, like it's not coming from their email. Their name won't be out. They have to write their name on who it is.
Okay, let me get my Google Forms up and then I'll screen share. So like,
and if y'all have I know some of y'all are chatting questions. I'm trying to read through them, but y'all can like wave and you can unmute yourself, like jump in, anybody.
I think it's good if you read them, Deidre.
Oh,
see
okay.
this?
Just so it's not loud and stuff.
Okay.
Can you guys see this?
Yes.
Okay, so this is one I did recently. It was like obviously like wedding related, but so I start with their email address because just in case they like, sometimes people like won't put their Facebook URL or something, and then it's like just a secondary way to connect with them. But if you go here, so like if I was going to edit the question, you can make the questions required that they have to answer. So I always do that just because
they can't submit it until it's
filled out. Yeah, so they have to at least type something in there. But then first and last name, because obviously you're not going to know who it is if you don't do that. Next, have you ever worked with a coach before? Have you done a Beachbody program? blah, blah, blah. So you can see, like, I don't do that many questions because I feel like if it's too much, people are like, oh my gosh, this huge long thing, I don't want to fill that out. But short and sweet. And then if you go to tools, that is where you, or wait, no. What is it?
That was tools.
I thought it was tools too. Maybe they switched it on us. Script editor? I don't know what that is. Right now. Usually, I don't know. I'll have to go back and look and then I'll let you guys know. But it's usually when you click on tools, I don't know why it's not showing up, but it'll give you the option. Maybe it's because I already had it set like that. It gives you the option to get notifications to your email, like you said, Kate. So if you're not getting the notifications, then it's kind of tough to, like, you just have to be disciplined to make sure you're going in and looking at the responses. But you can get them to your email.
I love that. That weans out the ones that aren't going to write back anyways if you spend time to message them.
It's so good. We use it for so much. We've even used this, like, transitioning, like, challenge groups. If they get really, like, too big and there's people that aren't even participating, like, we require that people fill these out. What Shakeology flavor are you using? Do you need to talk about getting a new program? All kinds of stuff.
And then you can so once you go to, like, view live form, so this is what it would look like. And then, so obviously it's like this big long URL. So if you just, like, copy this and then go to this site, which is just bit.ly, and this is a free site. You can actually just log in with your Facebook.
Okay, so BITLY.
Yeah, and then you can actually, so you can see I've already done it, like, you can shorten that huge long link into wedding prep with Katie. So you can make it really short. So then when it's in your bio, like, it actually, you can read everything and it's super small and not, like, long.
Oh, I love that. You can do that with any link?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, that's so cool.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, y'all are just geniuses. I just feel like oh my gosh.
It's like, so funny that we can work the business being this old school. Like, I feel like
I'm out right now.
Sometimes we look at things and we're like, what?
But this has been really good for us too. Like, we do this this form in our welcome email. So instead of getting, like, I don't know if you guys do, like, some sort of, like, about me form for a new coach, but that we just do this, like, as a form now, so that when a new coach signs up, they just fill this stuff out so that we can just quickly read it, and it's a lot faster. And like you said, like, I'm horrible with email too. Like, I don't want to read somebody's email back to me. So I can go back and just read this.
Wow.
We stopped doing that. We did that at first, and then we were inconsistent with it. So we now just have a little welcome thing, and then we add them into our new coach training and keep them that way. I don't know. Yeah,
email is just, like, I can't with email. Like, when people send me stuff back, I'm like, no, I can't.
I didn't want you to respond.
Yeah, I know. Okay, so the question is, I have quite a few people who say they want to sign up, but I don't like to send them the steps to sign up only because I want to keep interacting with them. The problem is I feel like they think it's going to take forever, even though I let them know it will only take a few minutes. I've heard we can help by using the Beachbody app. Oh, yeah. See, well, I don't know what y'all do, but I used to use the app, but then it was just having so many issues with the app. Do y'all use the Beachbody app?
Are you talking about, like, the new BB links or, like, the enroller from
enroller?
No, okay. Well, Beachbody links are amazing. I actually really like it a lot.
But the enroller app I stopped using because it was glitching too bad.
I stopped using it.
Yeah, the BB links is really good.
Do you guys know what that is? The new?
No.
Okay, so it's an app. It's just called BB Links, LINKS, and it's literally you copy and paste. Like, if somebody was, like, ready for the 21-day fix challenge pack, it gives you the link to send them with your coach ID.
Yeah, it's so good.
So you go and set that up through the app?
All you have to do is enter your coach ID, and then it gives you a link for everything.
Yeah.
Every single thing we have in the online office.
But just to answer that, like, once you send that, I think they were saying, like, they're afraid of, like, the conversation ending. Is that what?
Yes.
You guys, we're like the queen of follow-up. Like, we'll stalk you until that is like done, you know? And it's honestly not because people are dragging their feet. People literally forget all the time. You know, Kate and I talked about this morning. She thought she wrote back to me and she didn't. And I go, I literally do the exact same thing. I mentally respond to somebody and then 3 days pass and I hadn't. So, you know, don't be afraid of that, because really we can only tell people so much through Messenger. People want to see things. They want to see what's offered. They want to see how much it is, even though you've already talked about that. They want to read the fine print. You know, don't be afraid of that. You know, give them that link. It'll take them directly to the page.
It's like you the challenge pack.
The link.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Literally, you go in, you put your coach ID, and then you can just like scroll through and pick, I went the, you know, Insanity Max 30 challenge pack, and it like brings it up, you copy, you paste it right into your message. It's amazing.
Wow.
It's amazing. It's really good.
Because some people are just like not like, I guess I didn't realize how, I mean, depending on, I guess like age matters too, but like some people just aren't techie, and by telling them like, go to my site, click join, click shop, click challenge packs, they're like, what? You know?
Yeah, they don't get it.
Yeah, that's mine. And then I'm like, as soon as you're done, message me. And like, I swear to you, 50% of the time the order is wrong. And
no, they can't screw this up. It literally, I'm telling you, it opens the page on your website, like directly to that exact challenge.
That's amazing.
Can you even do coach signups with that?
I don't think so. No, because I looked the other day. You can't.
Yeah.
Okay. So just Challenger. Yeah, that's
Amazing.
That's good. It's really good.
I think it's fairly new. I think somebody just made it recently.
Yeah, it is. It's very new. But it's cool too, because I had somebody the other day that wanted to get a challenge pack, but she couldn't decide between 21 Day Fix, Fix Extreme, or a 3-day refresh. And I sent her all three. And she was like, wow, like, thank you so much. That's so helpful.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, it's really good.
Oh my gosh, I got to get that. Another question. How, when you were starting out trying to build your following, how much time did you devote just to Instagram? And then kind of going along with that, it says, I know you want more followers than people who follow you. Do you have a certain formula you go by?
So that app Crowdfire is going to help out tremendously with that, because the way it works with that is it gives you a list of your non-followers. And I'm a big believer, like, if I follow you and you don't reciprocate, like, I'm not going to move forward, because what's really the point? So I will go through and I unfollow all my non-followers. And this app only lets you do 100 at a time. So if you've gotten yourself to a place where you're like following 2,000 people that you probably shouldn't be following, then it's going to take some time, you know, obviously. But I just like would do a little bit at a time, and I tried to get my followers down, because when Chelsea was teaching us all about Instagram, you know, like her followers, like she had like 7,000 followers, and like her like the people she was following was way less. And like I noticed that my ratio was a lot like worse, I guess. Like I had a decent amount of followers. I had like 5,000 followers or something, but I was following like 4,000 people. So I wanted to get that down as much as I could. I don't know what my thing is now.
The key to a successful Instagram is be really cute like Winnie, because this dog, this is pissing me off. She has 4,500 followers. She has her own Instagram. She has 4,500 followers.
Yeah, she's famous.
Yeah, her famous.
How the freak do you have time to post on yours and your dog's Instagram?
Literally, this dog is famous. I'm not even kidding you. It's like sick. Because here's a really good Instagram account. Not only having a lot of followers, but a high frequency of likes and comments. Mm-hmm. She gets like 300 likes, 40 comments.
Yeah, her Instagram is more popular than mine.
She's
for sure.
Way more popular.
So how many times do you post on her account?
What'd you say?
How many times do you post on her account?
Probably like 2 or 3 times a day.
Literally.
Yeah.
Plus yours?
But all the doodle moms are so cute.
Yeah, so I've been like connecting with all these dog people now.
Oh my.
Oh my God, I love it. Okay, so wait, how much time did you devote when you started? So when y'all were both working full time and you were trying to start growing your Instagram page, how much time were you putting in doing that? Like as a full time, back in the day, 2.5 years ago when you started?
Well, I think for one, when we were starting, we were like massively still on our own health and fitness journey. Katie and I have lost 110 pounds like in our journey together. So I think just being so insanely consistent with sharing, our story. I mean, I always say that now, like when I feel like my following is down, it's because I'm not posting about like my workouts or what I'm doing. But
we always say, like, if you're in a rut, this is just a side note, if you're in a rut with your business, do a legit round of the 21-day fix.
Yeah,
You will reboot yourself mentally, physically, and you will like start reaching people on social media.
Yeah.
But in the beginning, I don't think that we could put like a time on it, like how much time that we were spending. I think it took me a little bit more time to even get into Instagram other than just like posting, my personal journey. Because I started coaching with like 3,500 friends on Facebook. I had a lot of friends on Facebook, so I had a huge market to tap first. But I mean, we always were making those connections with other people that were, trying to get healthy and fit. And I have like a nail license. I always was posting about things like that. So I was making those connections with people, but not like I'm going to spend a half hour a day.
Yeah, I wasn't like putting like a time on it, but it was like Eric and I a lot in the beginning, like our hours working were so demanding. Like she was working 60, 70 hours a week and at the dealership and I was working, up to 12 hours a day in a hair salon some days. So a lot of it was like, do what you can when you can. Like,
yeah, I checked Instagram when I went pee.
Yeah, like
what happened.
Like sometimes that's just so you have to like late night in bed, like 10 minutes before you go to bed, or wake up a little bit earlier if that's something you want to do. Just gotta find the hidden minutes.
I do think there is value in setting aside, and I wish I would have done this then, is setting aside, okay, I'm going to do, 20 minutes in bed tonight before I go to sleep. I'm going to go follow, 50 people. And then you wake up the next day and you have new followers. Like you do, and you should be regimented on following new people, getting like the number of people you're liking down, looking at Crowdfire. We'll share that video with you guys, but making those connections, turning the post notifications on, not mindless scrolling. I mean, you really do have to think about this, you guys, that when you become a coach, social media is obviously a fun place for you to still be, remain connected with family and friends and people from your past, but really it's a business, not meant for you to get on and like find like the latest waist trainer out there, which is like all over Instagram. It's like crazy stuff, but spending the time, building your business and not scrolling.
Right.
Deidre, why don't we take one more question, because we're already 9:50. You want to just get one more and then we'll be good?
Yeah, I mean, I'm scrolling through their questions is what I was doing.
Let's just do one more.
Okay, this question, oh crap, where'd it go? Okay, well, as far as looking, okay, obviously you're gonna be looking for coaches and challengers on Instagram, obviously, but I guess that's up to you really what you're targeting at the time. But her question is, I'm just not sure how to approach what I'm looking for, not sure how to approach a stranger through a hashtag to join my team. I mean, really you're finding somebody to follow through the hashtag, and then you're commenting and liking
their stuff.
Yeah, I think like if you just build that little bit of a relationship just with like likes and comments, then it's not so weird. I mean, it just depends on the person. Like I don't follow like a certain grain as far as inviting and messaging goes. Like I'm not a copy and paster. Like I don't send the same messages to people. Like if it's somebody that just like I look at their account and like I get like butterflies, like wow, like I need this girl on my team, she's amazing. Like I will get ballsy and send her a message like, hey, this is so random, but like I can't like stop looking at your page, like your pictures are so amazing. Have you ever thought about doing this blah blah blah, you go into the whole spiel. But if it's somebody that's like, if I feel like more like reserved about it or just not sure, then I think like just like building up that commenting, liking, and then, breadcrumbing, like Erica said.
You wait for them to like reach out to you from a post, or are you going to send them a direct message with your Facebook link?
Well, I mean, I think that there's definitely, you have to build that relationship. Like Katie said, like going for the kill is not going to benefit you whatsoever. Like you have to know that like when you're going to somebody's page that it's going to take some time for you to build that like trust up. But like I said, you know, Chelsea Best will send the messages that say, you know, like, you know, thanks so much for liking my page. You know, I'm like, you can see I'm a health and fitness coach, you know, yada, yada. And kind of going from there, you know, if you think about, like, I hate saying other companies, I'm not talking bad about them, but like it works. It's like, hey, I'm trying to hit my quota for the end of the month and I'm looking for no. You can't do that.
I think your question is like the crossover. Like, how do you go from following somebody to like, and once you feel like you have a relationship, you're a couple weeks in, how do you make that crossover to, or what is the crossover? Is it the Facebook message or is it?
We're always going to send them a message first on Instagram, having that conversation. The majority of the time when I'm messaging people on Instagram is to invite them to like a glance event that we're going to have over on Facebook. And the minute that we get that response back, it's, oh my gosh, great. Cannot wait to talk to you more about this. Can you add me over on Facebook? And you give them the link.
Okay.
That's really about it. You know, there's really not much more than
that. Okay. So it's more of like an inviting to a glimpse group or a sneak peek or.
Yeah, or a challenge group.
Yeah, or a challenge
group. Yeah, challenge group.
Challenge group. Yeah.
Okay.
This is amazing.
Like a lot of people, like a lot of coaches have like that fear of like, well, should I invite them to be a challenger or should I invite them to be, you know, and a coach? And it's just like your discretion. Like, you know, like I said, if somebody really jumps out to you that is like, already a super like upbeat, positive person, maybe they're posting about fitness already. Like, yeah, like maybe that's somebody you should probably just invite to the glance, go for the kill. But if it's just somebody that you're kind of just connecting with and, you know, you think that maybe they would be somebody that'd be good as a challenger, then, you know, stick with challenger. Cause you know, we could always transform challengers to coaches later.
Okay.
The key with Instagram is just not be scared. You're likely never going to see this person unless they join your team. And
I've done it all. Like, that's the other thing. Like, if you make mistakes, like you're going to make mistakes. Like, I've invited a girl to a glance group that was in my downline. So like, it doesn't get worse than that. So
listen, I invited a girl, she followed me and it was like the day of a glance event. And like if somebody like, you know, likes something with a glance event, you send them, you know, like a message, just like asking if they're interested. She literally followed me because she had just been added to Fly Nation that day. I was like, oh my God. But you actually can delete messages on Instagram, just FYI.
Yeah.
I can see how it happens because I do get confused. And I'll usually text Kate and be like, is this in your download? Or like, is this yours?
Yeah. Well, then I'm like, then my response back, I always want to be like, well, like, you're not posting about coaching enough then, because I couldn't tell you were a coach.
It's your fault.
Yeah, because on Instagram, you can't search if you're a mutual friend with other coaches.
Oh, it's awful.
That's why, like, that bio is so key. Like, have a solid bio. Like, say your health and fitness. Like, you can go look at Eric and I's. Like, we just put, like, I'll, like, read it off real quick. Just, like, a little blurb about yourself. That way people know off the bat. So I just say like 60 pounds down, no gym, online fit biz owner, 5-star elite, bride to be 6'18", doodle mom, and Winnie's at Winnie the Doodle, and an anxiety and depression advocate, and then my Facebook link. So just like a little blurb that people like know like 2 or 3 things about me. It really makes a difference.
Yeah, give your Instagrams a little facelift. It's important.
Thank y'all so
much. You're welcome. Thanks for having us.
We truly appreciate it. That was amazing.
Good.
Awesome. Yeah, I hope it was helpful. And we'll send you Chelsea's Instagram.
Thank you so much.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye, guys.